So on that press, Corsberg, you're way too deep, buddy. You should be up with the players on that, even when you're transitioning to new lead. You want to be only as deep as the deepest player. So if you're 20 feet behind the deepest player, then you're too far back. You want to be up in case there's a ball that squirts out of bounds or a foul or something like that off ball. You want to be as close to that foul as possible when you make the call. Perfect. So right there, you guys had a double whistle. That was a great call on your part. Partner shouldn't have had a whistle because it was primary defender. So that was you on that. The ball originated from your primary. You just had a sub come in. Remember that you got to blow your whistle for every sub. So on that, before you admit the sub, hand goes in the air to tell your partner to wait. Blow the whistle, then call the sub in. Once the sub's cleared, take your hand down, point to your partner to let them know that you've cleared the subs. Also on that free throw, remember 10-second count. So you don't signal it like you would normally signal like a backcourt count, but just signal it with your finger. So just move your finger back and forth or something very small and subtle. But something so that if a coach really was looking, he could tell that you had a count. I usually leave my hand at my side and just move my fingers back and forth to indicate the seconds that have crossed. So we'll notice on that call you just made, you make it, throw your 5-second call in the air, and then point the direction the ball is going to go. Remember, you should always follow it with a direction signal. So blow it, point, then you're good. Great call. Way to stay with the shooter. Perfect. Especially on that, make sure your partner knows that you've got 3 shots. I know you threw your hand up and said something. Anytime you're going to call a shooting foul, it's going to be 3 instead of 2. Just be absolutely sure he knows. And it looks like he did, but just saying it just as a reminder. So right here when you're standing, you've got your hands on your hip. Your hand that's by your side, probably just use that to give your 10-second count on these free throws. Forgot to chop the clock on that, so remember, as soon as a shot leaves the free throw shooter's hand, your hand goes up in the air. Once it hits once it has its first legal contact with a player on the floor, clock gets chopped. So right there, come in with a good hard whistle on that, buddy. It should be loud, hard, and crisp. All right, so proper procedure when you have 5 fouls. First thing you do, walk over to the coach, let him know, coach, that's 5, you gotta have a sub. Then you're gonna turn to the table, you're gonna tell the scorer at the table, just like you would a normal timeout, you would say 20-second substitution, point to him, say start the time. Then make sure either you or your partner notifies the player himself. So 3 steps that happen when player has 5 fouls. First, coach notification, player notification, 20-second substitution timer at the table. So here, hand should go up, and then if he does make the shot, then rather than chopping it, just put your hand down, and your partner will be responsible for chopping it on the throw-in. right there, see how far you were behind the play? You want to close all the way in down. You want to be as close to those players as you can get. So right there, you barely made it past half court. You want to try to make it all the way up with the players. You're young, it looks better for the players, it looks better in the coach's eyes when they see you busting your balls to hustle. So make sure you get up there all the way up to the deepest player. Last thing right here on a timeout, it's a full timeout. So where you would stand on a full timeout is you would stand at the back half of the center circle. So the big circle that's in the center of the floor, you would stand facing the table at the far edge of it for a 60-second timeout. If it's a 20-second timeout, you stand on the near edge of the center restraining circle. Once you get that horn, you should sprint over to one bench, give them 3 claps, tell them first horn, wrap it up, sprint to the other bench, tell them coach, it's first horn, gotta have them out, and then work your way back to whatever bench has not released their players. So make sure you make it over to both benches. As soon as you hear that first horn, sprint over there, clap your hands 3 or 4 times, get in the coach's ear, hey, gotta have them out. So right here, you'll see how far away from the players you are. You're way back there. Now I know that that's the exact type of play you're wanting to anticipate. I understand it. So we have the natural tendency to let ourselves sag back. But in that situation, get up as deep as the deepest player, and if you see that pass, bust it back. You're faster than any of these kids on the court right now, so you should be able to beat them back. Coach right now is yelling at you. What he's yelling at you for is the fact that on that last throw-in, the throw-in did not contact any player, which means that it was never legally touched as a throw-in. If the throw-in is not legally touched, the ball is taken out of bounds at the throw-in spot. So rather than taking the ball out of bounds down there at the end line like you did, you should have taken it up here at this end line where the ball was being thrown in. And then once again, we should have a 10-second count, and hand should go up in the air right now to chop the clock, which you kind of got there at the very end. But hand goes up on the release, and clock gets chopped on the first legal touch. All right, buddy, that's a lot of input. That's 10 minutes of game footage. Hope you learned something from it. I'm out.